Good afternoon. This is just an update on Clonmel. I was there earlier, and there's a barricade put up where the entrance was made by the construction workers. There was talks of a construction company coming today and beginning work again on the site. As of now, that hasn't come to fruition. I went for a little walk around the property as well, or the land, and it's a fine piece of land. The tree is still there. I would suggest that there's no plans to take that tree, because they had it originally open. The workers were taking shade under the tree, and then the days following that they had erected a circular fence around it, but that's gone now. So I don't know what the story is there. There is land, ditches and trees and stuff that they could push back and clear as far as the tree, maybe even up to and including the tree. That'll give them another couple of hundred square meters. But so there's nothing going on there now at the moment. That's not to say it could happen in the evening or in the night time or even tomorrow morning, whatever the case is. But I'd just like to talk a little bit about something that interests me in this whole thing. We all have our interests and our inclinations and what we're drawn towards. And psychology and stuff like that is what interests me. And uncovering and exploring what it is that makes a person do something, or what is behind the actions of people, you know, their motivations. There are moral motivations perhaps, or their philosophical motivations, or whatever the case is. It might be financial for some people, or it might just be the excitement of feeling like you're doing something with a bit of action in it, okay? And I was thinking of not necessarily what motivates people to get up and go out, but what the motivations are for somebody not to. And you would think that instincts kick in for people. So at a certain point, like if there's someone 200 meters down there from me shouting at me saying that they're going to take my car, it's not much of a threat because I'm in a car and the person is a good bit of distance away from me. Whereas if I started to sense danger and seen them coming towards me, I'd be able to move quick enough to get away, okay? So animals are the same. Like a cat will sit a certain distance from you, but once you get to the point where you might be able to lunge quickly for them, they'll move and expand the distance between the two of you, okay? Dogs are the same. And humans are the same, is my point. Whereas if there's someone knocking on my window right then and there, that's a much different threat, and my reaction is going to be a little bit different, as would many other people's. So implied in those things is the sense of danger. So if once the sense of danger is so immediate that it's an actual danger now, it's not just a sense of it, your reaction might be to defend yourself or to escape, okay? So the fight or flight. So if you have a bunch of people in the town that are telling another bunch of people, there's a danger here, we're sensing danger coming, okay? We don't know when, but we know it's coming, and this is what it looks like, and this is where the danger will be coming from according to our perspective on it, okay? And we're letting you know because we'd like you to help us to make sure that this danger doesn't manifest in the town, okay? But you have that group saying, nah, there's no danger there, or even if there is a danger, you're exaggerating it, or you're looking at things incorrectly, or you're looking at things through some sort of lens that would disqualify what your sense is, or what you're perceiving in what is going on in this area of life that you're spending a lot of time paying your attention to, okay? So there's an assumption in that with a lot of things. You're assuming that these people who've spent their time and put their attention into a specific area of living or life or the town, that they would know a little bit about it, okay? So naturally enough, if you're being kind of emotionally balanced and in control of yourself to a large degree, like you have a good sense of self-awareness, you understand when you're deceiving yourself and in which ways you tend to deceive yourself, because we all do it, okay? So if you're in tune with that a little bit, you might want to learn a little bit about these people who spent an awful amount of time looking at this one particular thing, okay? But you don't see that with a lot of people. They tend to just automatically assume, suggest, or maybe project onto this group of people, the active group of people, the ones calling the people's attention to something, right or wrong. They assume that they don't have anything to teach them, or what they have to say is so corrupted based on its motivation or its intention that there is nothing for me to learn from listening to these people. That's bizarre to me, because if you're looking at, I suppose, the Darwinian perspective that the aim of life is to continue life and to survive at all costs, you would assume that that base, real, foundational instinct in people would be triggered when they hear people. And I don't mean triggered in the modern sense of being overly erratic. I just mean as being activated. That instinct, you would assume that instinct would be activated when there's a group of people in the same town or neighbourhood as you calling your attention to a potential danger. But it doesn't seem to be activated in a lot of people. The defense or the reaction, maybe it is being activated, but it's being fed out through a warped lens, an overly defensive lens, where this group is calling out the danger, and instead of your instinct channeling your focus onto what the potential danger is, it's perhaps being scared off going down that road, even in terms of thinking or imagining it. And the flow or the focus seems to be veered towards the people who are calling attention to it, the potential danger. So what you end up having happen is one group is being warned of the danger, and then they start to take out a defensive aggression on the people that are calling their attention to that potential danger. So you end up with conflict. And the interesting thing is, well, what's behind that? Do you know? What is behind that? What stops a person from looking at the message and instead running headfirst in an attack towards the messenger? Like, we have these little sayings like, don't shoot the messenger. And that's what we mean by that. When someone is telling you something, don't spend your time giving out to that person. Look at the message they're giving you, because there might be something in it for you to understand and learn from. You know, it might even be relevant to your survival in some way, if the subject they're talking about or the message they're trying to give you is a warning of potential danger. You know, so that's really interesting to me, and I think it's a maze that we have to wander through in some ways for ourselves solely, to figure out ourselves in terms of this. So do I avoid looking at things that scare me? Do I avoid things that will trigger fear in me? When was the last time I was truly afraid? Have I ever felt like my life was in direct and immediate danger? You know, like, these are all interesting things that allow us to be able to take on certain information and situations and be able to digest them in ways that are different to how other people go about doing that. And some people deal with worrying content like that, like the truth of a situation, or even what someone believes to be the truth of a situation, in terms of, there's potential danger coming here, lads. You might want to look at that for a while. Some people, it can make them so nervous and so afraid that they won't even look at it. They will deny its existence, and instead they will antagonize and demean people who are trying to point it out to them. That's a fascinating thing to me. I don't think any other animal on this planet would engage in such denial or such diversion away from things that are intangible and you can look at and you can examine them yourself. The messenger is totally irrelevant. Like, they just point you in a direction, and if you so wish, you can go and look at certain information and make up your own mind about it. But too many people are just going, I don't even want to go near that. And to me, what that suggests is really, really emotionally and psychologically immature people. That there's underlying anxieties and stresses and worries in them that are so active in them that they can't possibly handle any more attention, which examining potentially dangerous situations would create in a person. You know, it throws them so much that they enter into a fight or flight response to it, and they flee, or they'll attack the person that's trying to highlight something to them. You know, so again, and look, these are questions we should be asking ourselves every day, but am I one of them people? What do I do when I'm presented with a potentially scary situation? Do I watch scary movies? Have I become accustomed to frights and things like that? And have I been in scary situations in my life? And if so, what was the magnitude of that? Do you know? Like, because not everything is scary for every person, but there's like a hierarchy of threat levels. Do you know? Like, I lost my wallet and I was scared then because I had no money, I had no bank card, all that stuff. Or I was driving down the road and a truck came so close to smashing me head on. That kind of thing. There's grades to it. You know, so how many of those sort of incidents have I been exposed to? None? Or too many? You know? So, and again, how do I avoid myself? Do I avoid looking at certain things because they might unsettle me, or I might find it hard to take on that information? You know? What subjects in life do you avoid thinking about and talking about? And if there's none, then is there any for you? You know? And do I shoot the messenger and completely deny or even ignore the message? Have I had that done to me, maybe? And if so, what did that feel like? And then do I carry on doing that to other people? Am I familiar even with the context of that, or the content of that? Okay, but look, at the moment there's no work going on in Clonmel, and that's a good thing. That it's a good thing for people at Clonmel, but that doesn't mean that everything is after ceasing or that the plans have been ripped up or whatever. So that's it.